In 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to Janky AF and the premiere of a new series entitled My Janky Life. It's just like My Little Pony, except instead of a pony that is little, it is a life that is janky. Pretty straightforward. It will be unscripted, unedited. And throughout my day, I deal with lots of little janky things, which is basically the product of not having a lot of money, yet still wanting to get a lot done. So you resort to jankiness. And after a while, you come to embrace jankiness. So for instance, we have this sink faucet that I got for free. We're going to try to hook that up. Everything is dirty. Trying to make sense of my life too, sort of de-hoarding my life, which is one of the lesser good side effects of like a janky life. Oftentimes you're just imbibing all this free stuff, so you got stuff lying all around, free paint lying around, etc., etc. Anyhow, it's a new series, so I thought I would introduce it for you all. I hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, here is the first episode of My Janky Life. Janky do thanky. And welcome back to Janky AF and My Janky Life, a new mini-series that we may or may not be doing. And if you're watching this video, I guess we're doing it. Let's talk about my basement, shall we? I'm not even mic'd up here, but I want to tell you about some stuff that's going on. Here is a sink. It was about twice as long, and I cut it off with a jigsaw. That was free from a friend. They were remodeling. Look at this. These cabinets were from a bathroom, very nice, that I was painting in. I also got those for free because they demoed it, and this butcher block I got from my brother. Thank you, Janky do thank you for that. I think it eventually will make a very, very nice island. So I want to make it modular, so I want to put wheels on the bottom so it can roll, and then these two sections come apart, so I want to make them that they're easily attachable and detachable. Same thing with this, so it can be moved a little bit easier. Okay, moving on. Here's my slop sink. I'll probably do a whole video of my slop sink. Of course, it's janky colors, orange and yellow. And it goes directly into a 5-gallon bucket here. These PEX lines leak a little bit, unfortunately, so you do have to remember to turn them off every time. And I turn off these. One time I forgot to do it. And even this 5-gallon bucket was not enough to completely contain the drip. However, the good news about that is there's never any paint going into my septic tank. Here in rural areas, we have septic tanks, and it's just not great generally, but also very, very expensive if you have to replace it. So this water just gets dumped out. A lot of the paint catches on the bottom anyways, so we're not near any runoff areas or anything like that. You can see the various buckets that I'm getting. I gotta wash some of these brushes soon. Okay, moving on. Here we have our great laundry area. I'm trying to catch up on that. What I'm trying to do is and I'll talk about this in other videos, but I'm kind of a hoarder, so I'm trying to simplify, organize, not so much declutter. Like, I like clutter, but I'm just trying to get organized. And when you have too much stuff, it's hard to be organized. You hit a certain breaking point. Oh, the other thing about this sink, you can see here how, and the other theme is like just getting stuff for free and being janky. This faucet I like, and it has one of these threaded things where I want to put a water filter on it for our sink, for our well water. And I also like the gun, and it has the gun. So what I might do is try to take the guts of this sink and switch them and swap them out with the guts of this sink. Because this one, has the sprayer on it, which is nice. And I think this would be good for my new, bigger slop sink. This sink was also for free on the side of the road. And it came with this thing. Actually, this is a separate, but I was going to cut it out and put this in. And then then I got this other sink. I'm like, well, maybe I'll just put that sink will be my slop sink, because it's nice to have like a little bench. I have no real work area here, so it's nice to have a little bench. But I like those guts for my upstairs sink, because my upstairs sink actually needs a better faucet because it's leaking right now, and the hose on the gun spritzes and leaks everywhere. It's just a bad thing. So hopefully we can swap all that out, and if I do that, I will show you. I gotta dump these 5-gallon buckets out. It's nice to have a lot of them, but then it just kind of makes you lazy too, because then you can just keep filling them up, and then once you finally have to dump them, you got to dump a lot of them. All right, moving on. So that's that. These cabinets were here with the house, and these countertops came with the other one. Again, I chopped that big one in half, and then I had to chop a little one of this off just with a jigsaw. But now we have this beautiful platform on which to paint. I might put a chop saw here eventually, but all again for free. Here's all my old paint collection. This is all free as well. And I just went through sorting all of it into colors. And this is currently the blues and the purples right here, but I had to move this around, so then that got messed up. These chairs, I think they may have been for free too. All more old paint. This is all your tans, your grays, and your blacks and your whites. All latex paint, again, all just sort of given away by people. I put this whole cabinet here. That was for free. That was a road score on the side of the road, and then for, you know, a couple bucks, I put this little latch on it. Here is like sort of all of your oil paints, your clear coats, primers, and Pervo. That's old oil paint, which I'll do something with one day. You know, it's getting harder to find oil paint, and for certain applications it just does hold up really well. These are sort of like conglomerate 5-gallon buckets. I think this one's actually just ceiling paint. This is like a sort of a gray. Every once in a while, if I have like, you know, a ton of grays or tans or beiges, I'll just consolidate them into one sort of, you know, general brown color. And if I gotta do bigger areas, it's just nice in it, you know, because I'm not gonna need 18 different beiges after a while. So there you go. I'm trying to organize this area a little bit more, and just be more organized generally. I've started spray paints, and you have, you know, various things here. It's not a big area. I'm gonna need to make this area bigger at some point, but the basement's coming along. Eventually, I'd like to vacuum all this up, maybe wash it with some TSP or something, get rid of some of these cobwebs, and I want to paint this whole basement floor. Now, if I'm lucky, I can use reclaimed materials, you know, like I have been, because Janky AF, we're doing everything super cheap, super janky, super renew, reuse, recycle, reduce, all that jazz. And so that's like a little, you know, quick tour of the basement here and the stuff that I'm working on. Again, I never had a slop sink for a long time, and even though it's like super janky and it just goes into a 5-gallon bucket and I gotta manually haul the buckets out, there's something about that I like. We have these Bilko doors, so it's not really a far walk to get outside. You know, there's just something nice about it. And I wanted to show you some of the free stuff I've got, and that's the other main sort of theme and thrust of this is people just get rid of so much stuff. And, you know, like a good friend of mine once said, we're sort of the bottom feeders of society. I mean, like, and yet we're so fortunate to be in the position that we're in, you know, like, so the amount of stuff that people throw away. I try to, you know, take that and turn it into something valuable, and to live in a way that's, you know, sort of like, it's very complicated, but it's very simple in a way too. And I do not like wasting things. So here's another chair. Actually, this was just completely beat up old chair, stickers and stuff on it. So I sanded the top down and put this nice coat of stain on it. Also the stain, which I got for free, was just lying around. Someone was getting rid of it. And then this white semi-gloss, off-white semi-gloss paint. And now it's a beautiful chair. And upstairs we have 2 all off-white chairs, and then we have a table that's painted off-white with a stained top, and then we have one more chair that looks like this. All mismatched chairs, but now that we have 2 of these and 2 of the just you know, the seat is off-white as well. So now we got a matching chair, and that was, you know, free, just left around. And, you know, a little bit of free paint, a little bit of elbow grease, then you have this like really nice beautiful chair. I also put 2 coats of a water-based clear coat on top of that, satin. And that was also free, donated from a customer as well. So there you have it. You know, this is Janky AF. We paint stuff, and this is, you know, sort of a little addendum to the automobile stuff, just general day in the life of Beef Janky. So we'll call it my Janky life, I guess. So thanks for watching, all right? We'll see you again soon. And until then, Janky do thank you.